two EU nations, Viridia and Montara, have announced plans to join BRICS, challenging the long-standing Western power structure. This move signals a shift towards a multipolar world, shaking the foundations of European unity. The inclusion of these nations elevates BRICS, transforming it into a global institution with diverse membership. The decision forces countries to reconsider their alliances and strategies in an increasingly complex international landscape. The world is witnessing a seismic shift in global politics, as old alliances are redrawn. This is a clear declaration that the old rules no longer apply. The EU and BRICS represent two contrasting models of international cooperation. The EU, a political and economic union, promotes peace and prosperity through deep integration and shared sovereignty. However, its bureaucratic nature can lead to gridlock. BRICS, a looser group of emerging economies, offers a flexible approach, focusing on economic cooperation and development. It operates without binding treaties or a central parliament, appealing to nations seeking autonomy. The BRICS philosophy of non-interference and consensus decision-making attracts countries feeling constrained by rigid alliances. This divergence highlights the growing appeal of alternative global power structures. The world is witnessing a shift towards more flexible, multipolar alliances. Viridia and Montara's decision to join BRICS stems from a mix of economic ambition and growing political frustration with the status quo in Europe. Both countries are eager to revitalize their struggling economies by tapping into BRICS's dynamic and rapidly expanding markets, hoping to unlock new avenues for growth and investment. They also aim to secure better deals on energy and raw materials, reducing their dependence on traditional European suppliers and gaining more favorable terms for their industries. This bold move is a clear political statement, as both nations seek to reclaim strategic autonomy from what they see as the EU's increasingly rigid and centralized foreign policy. By joining BRICS, Viridia and Montara gain not only economic opportunities, but also greater flexibility and influence on the global stage, allowing them to shape their own destinies. The BRICS model, often seen as more pragmatic and less intrusive, appeals to their desire for partnerships based on mutual respect, equality, and shared interests. Their decision reflects a vote for a more flexible, adaptive approach to international relations, one that prioritizes national interests and sovereignty. Viridia and Montara are determined to diversify their economic portfolios, seeking new markets and opportunities beyond the EU's borders. They aim to forge independent relationships with key global players, building alliances that better serve their unique needs and ambitions. This high-risk, high-reward strategy is designed to redefine their role in the global economy, embracing change in a rapidly shifting world. Ultimately, they hope to balance their EU commitments with new opportunities in BRICS, navigating between old alliances and emerging partnerships. This move challenges the established order in Europe and signals a significant shift towards a more multipolar world, where power and influence are more widely distributed. The announcement by Viridia and Montara to join BRICS sent shockwaves through the political landscape, catching many by surprise and sparking intense debate across Europe and beyond. Their leaders emphasized building bridges in a new global era, highlighting hopes for economic growth and stronger international ties. However, the EU reacted with concern, fearing a fracture in unity and the potential loss of influence on the world stage. An emergency EU meeting is planned, with divisions emerging over how to respond, some urging dialogue, others calling for stricter measures. Meanwhile, BRICS welcomes the move enthusiastically, fast-tracking their application for approval and signaling openness to further expansion. The Global South hails this as a victory, viewing it as a sign of shifting global power dynamics and a step toward a more multipolar world. Within Viridia and Montara, opinions are divided. While some businesses and citizens see new opportunities for trade and investment, others worry about potential disruptions and uncertainty. Financial markets remain volatile as the nations navigate this uncharted path, with investors closely watching every development for signs of stability or risk. The coming months will test their political leadership and diplomatic skills as they strive to balance old alliances with new partnerships, shaping the future of their countries and the region. Viridia and Montara's BRICS move is an economic gamble with global repercussions. They seek access to BRICS markets and funding, but risk jeopardizing EU trade ties. Over 60% of their trade is with the EU, raising concerns about potential tariffs and supply chain disruptions. The EU faces pressure to adapt, as its economic model is no longer the only option. This move accelerates economic fragmentation, with competing blocs and trade rules. BRICS's alternative payment systems could weaken the US dollar's dominance. International corporations must navigate a more complex world with diverse regulations. The global economy is shifting towards a multipolar landscape. Viridia and Montara's decision reshapes global power dynamics, challenging Western dominance. This move emboldens countries seeking independent foreign policies, reducing reliance on single powers. BRICS gains geopolitical stature, bridging continents and old divides. The bloc's diversity strengthens its call for global governance reform. Within Europe, tensions rise as a two-tier foreign policy emerges. NATO's cohesion is tested, complicating security cooperation. The US faces a more complex Europe, weakening a key pillar of its foreign policy. This accelerates the shift to a multipolar world with multiple power centers. The global order is being redefined, with new alliances and strategies emerging. Experts across the globe agree that this is a pivotal moment in international relations, though their interpretations of its significance and potential consequences vary widely. Some see it as a turning point, while others urge caution in reading too much into early developments. Dr. Anja Schmidt, a leading European policy analyst, warns the EU against adopting punitive responses, arguing that such measures could easily backfire and undermine long-term European interests. Meanwhile, Dr. Kenji Tanaka highlights emerging economic opportunities, noting that Viridia and Montara are positioning themselves for future growth and increased influence in global markets. Retired General Robert Hastings describes the situation as a wake-up call for the West, emphasizing how it exposes divergent interests among traditional allies and the need for renewed strategic thinking. Professor Adewale Adebayo, speaking from a Global South perspective, views these developments as a vindication for emerging economies, challenging long-standing Western dominance and opening new avenues for cooperation. The move clearly signals a shift towards a more multipolar world order, with new alliances forming and power structures being redefined on the global stage. As a result, countries now face the challenge of navigating an increasingly complex geopolitical landscape, balancing established relationships with the pursuit of new opportunities and partnerships. The global order is rapidly evolving, demanding that nations adapt their strategies and approaches to remain relevant and secure their interests in this new era. Viridia and Montara face a delicate balancing act with immense opportunities and challenges. They aim to become diplomatic powerhouses, bridging the EU and BRICS. This role offers influence on global issues, but requires convincing EU partners of their pragmatic strategy. Harmonizing standards with BRICS while maintaining EU values poses a challenge. They must navigate political minefields, balancing economic opportunities with core principles. Success depends on managing dual allegiances, seizing new markets without alienating allies. This high-risk strategy could redefine their role as European powers. Failure risks isolation, caught between two worlds. The decision by Viridia and Montara to join BRICS is a defining event, signaling the end of Western dominance. It challenges EU identity and elevates BRICS' global stature. The move accelerates global economic fragmentation and reshapes alliances. Viridia and Montara's tightrope walk will set a precedent for others. Their success or failure will teach crucial lessons in statecraft. The world watches as this unprecedented chapter unfolds, defining the global order. Stay tuned for developments in this evolving story.